Good day. Today we are considering harvest indices. Harvest indices show the period and the time for a fruit to be harvested. Harvest indices includes parameters such as color, firmness, ease of abscission, shape, fullness of fruits, fullness of size, dryness of foliage, and so on. Fruit maturity can be determined by various methods. Example of such methods can be grouped into the following: physical method, chemical method, computational method, and physiological method. Physical method include the following: it involves the use of visual means to determine the maturity of the crop, and such physical means include skin color, size of the produce. For example, in okra, size has to be considered, because if the fruit is left on the plant to mature physiologically, it will not be acceptable by consumer because it grows dignified. For carrots, size is also important. For cucumber, size is important. Cucumber will be harvested at appropriate size. Dryness of foliage is another important physical method. For instance, for melon, most melon, the leaf has to be dried before they can be harvested. In banana, in cocoyam, the leaf has to show some bit of drying for harvesting to be done. Physical method also includes ease of abscission, that is, the smoothness or the easiness of the fruit to detach from the parent plant. When we look at oranges, pear, almond, these fruits has to be, when they can be harvested easily, it shows that they are ready for consumption. But if you have to struggle to remove from the parent plant, it shows the fruit is not ready for harvest. Other method that can also be used to determine maturity is specific gravity. Each crop has its own specific gravity when they are matured. So this specific gravity can be used to determine when the fruit is ready for harvest. Chemical method. This involves the use of laboratory tests to determine the nutritional composition of the plant, which shows whether the plant is ready for harvest or not. Other methods also include the smell of the produce. For instance, fruits like saso, guava, mango release some odor or fragrance by the time they are attaining to full maturity. Computational method. This involves calculation from the time of sowing to the time of maturity. Each crop has its own maturity physiological stage, and this can be determined through computational method. Fruits like watermelon. How do you determine the maturity of watermelon? It can be determined by size, it can be determined by the thickness of the rind. For instance, it can also be determined by sound. By the time you sound, if the sound is very loud, it shows that the fruit is matured, because the rind of the fruit will have matured and lignified, and the sound is going to be different from that one that is not matured for ripening. In case of banana and plantain, the tip of the banana grows black. By the time the tip grows black and the color is changing from deep green to light yellow, it's showing the sign of maturity. In case of onion, how do you determine the maturity? This can only be determined by size, depending on the cultivar. So at fullness of size, onion can be harvested. For vegetables, how do you determine when to harvest vegetable? For harvesting of vegetable, it's when it is acceptable. For instance, amaranthus, by the time it grows and the leaf is big enough for consumption, it can be harvested. If it is left on the field, it grows lignified, and by the time it grows lignified, it will be rejected by consumer. Most vegetables are harvested fresh, and their maturity is determined by size and length of growth.